Hi everyone, thanks for coming today. I will be presenting an online tech talk. My name is Jeremias. I am a software architect here at Whiteprom. We host online tech talks every week and we upload them to YouTube. So feel free to subscribe to our channel and give us a like. So today I will be talking about DevContainers, using DevContainers with Python. And also I will be showing you a feature from GitHub called GitHub Codespaces, which takes advantage of DevContainers. So what DevContainers are? They are a way to develop in your computer without, in a way, developing in your computer, but in a container. Yeah, it's really handy, mostly for those teams where every person has its own OS. So this help you be agnostic of the operating system and having a dev environment up and running as quickly as you can. So this is the architecture of the containers. It's an extension, works with an extension on VS Code, so it only works on VS Code. It takes advantage of a feature that VS Code has, that is remote development. It allows you to connect to a VS Code server and use your local VS Code only for the UI, and it runs, the VS Code engine runs in a VS Code server. So in this architecture, you will see you have your local operating system, which has the VS Code UI and your source code, and a container where VS Code server is hosted, where you can install several extensions or any extension that you need for your environment. It connects with the local UI for VS Code, and you work as you are working on your local computer. Also, you mount your source code to the VS Code server, to the container, in order to run your application. Also, you will see here at the right that this VS Code server points to the file system inside the container, and it has your running application, the debugger, and any terminal that you want to run. The way this works is pretty easy. You can define your own devcontainer.json, which describes your application. We will see it in more detail. So let's jump right away to our demo. So here, let me make this bigger. Here I'm running a local VS Code where I have a Python application. You will see the code in here. It just a simple CRUD. I've declared just several methods to create, get, and delete some items. This impacts in our database. Our database is a Postgres database. So along with our Fast API, we need to run a Postgres database. In order to do this, I've declared a Docker Compose where I describe my application. This Docker Compose has two services. One is my Postgres, and the other one is my application. My application runs with a Docker file, which you can see here. It just installed my requirements, and it runs an entry point sh, which runs my application with debug py in order to be debugged inside my container. So to configure this with my dev container, I had to create this devcontainer.json file. This has several configurations, so let's go one by one. They let you use a Docker Compose. That's the way I chosen. But if you don't have a Docker Compose with more than one service and your application is just a Docker file, you can use your Docker file with a different property. And when you set up your Docker Compose, you point to your actual file, and then you choose which of the services from that Docker Compose is your application that you want to debug. Then with this property, I banded my local code with a /workspace I will show you this later on the Docker Compose. And also, I've set up with these customizations property how I want my VS Code to be configured on the container. The only thing that I have installed is the Python extension because I need it in order to debug my services. And this property is pretty neat. If you don't put it, this will run all the services that you got configured in the Docker Compose. And if you put it, you will select which services you want to run from. This is just my configuration. There are other configurations. There's one really neat called features. Let me show you this. So there is something called feature for the containers. There are built-in features for your development. There are lots of them. I will show you later how the Git feature works. But there are a lot that you can take advantage. They are pretty neat. So once I have my dev container configured with my devcontainer.json, there is a shortcut here in VS Code which I can press, which is F1. And this is the option that builds your container and starts running the application. So I will click it. As you have seen, it reopened my VS Code. So it opened this VS Code UI and it was too fast, but it just ran all my application. And the terminal that you see here is inside the container where I'm developing. Then you will see a list of ports that are open. Some of them are needed for the VS Code to work. And you will see that here in this VS Code, as I mentioned before, my dev container has installed the Python extension. You can select as many as you want, and dynamically, they will get installed in your container. So once my application is running, because I set up the debugger the way I set it up, it's waiting for me to connect the debugger. Once I connect it, you will see that the port 80 gets up and running. So from that moment on, I can open locally application. Let's give it a try. There you go. So in a minute, I have up and running all my dev environment with my API and my Postgres database also connected. So let me show you how I can debug my application. Let's give it a try to see how it's working. Let's create an item, but let's create one other. There you go. I created an item, and now I can go to list my items, and you will see I got them listed. So let me show you how the debug works. I can put a breakpoint anywhere, and I just hit my breakpoint. Everything works as I expect on a development environment inside a container. So up to here is using dev containers, inside your local machine. This is pretty neat. It works right away. If you want to get out of the container, you just click here and click reopen folder locally. One thing I want to show you is this features thing. So let me show you how features work. So for example, in the way I was running, I didn't have Git inside my container. But if I want to enable Git, I just put the Git extension name here. I got it from this features page. I went to Git from source, and I just copy paste this feature ID into my dev container. Let's save it. Let's give it a try. Maybe I can show you. This is the log of how it's building my containers. You will see how the process goes. And after that, if everything worked out, I need to authorize this. And then I have Git working on my dev container instance. So pretty neat. You can use as many features you want. This page, there are a lot for every different language and dev environment. And lastly, what I wanted to show you is something called Codespaces. So GitHub has inbuilt a feature called Codespaces, which let you code in the browser. So I already boot one workspace. Let me see. You can see it here. So once it boots, it runs exactly the same thing I just ran on my local machine, but in the cloud. This is now run and working, but let's boot one more just to show you how they work. So you just click create codespace, and this will run the same process you have seen on my local computer, but on the cloud. Let's give it a minute. You can see the logs, the same logs I just shown you. If it takes too much, I will jump to the other one. While it runs, after you got it run, I just here run my debugger. And the same way you have seen, instead of accessing the thing locally, you have endpoints. Let's go this. That just work. So it's the same environment I had on my computer, but on the cloud. Something else that is really neat, you can choose to make your endpoints either public, or also, I'm not on an organization, but you can make them private inside the organization, so you can share your dev environment with someone else. So that's it. This is what I wanted to show you guys today. Okay, thanks everyone for joining. Hope you like this.